The learning is Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bas Yaakov Maseches Nazir Perek Dal Mishna Beis. Hareini Nazir va'at. If a man tells his wife, "I am a Nazir," and you va'amra amen, and she says, "Yes, I agree." So the halacha is that they are both a Nazir, and Mefer Eshalah, he could be Mefer her chelik of Naziris, v'Shaloi Kayim, and his chelik of Naziris will still be Mekuyim. The Gemara asks a stira from a brisa that says the opposite, that says if he tells his wife, Hareini Nazir va'at va'amra amen, the same exact case, he tells his wife, "I am a Nazir," and you, and she agrees. And over there it says, Shnei Masurim, that he can't be Mefer the Neder. So the Gemara has two terutzim. Either you have to switch the brisa to be like the Mishnah, that you are allowed to be Mefer the Neder, or the Gemara says a second teretz, that it depends if he asked her. If he asked her, Hareini Nazira va'at, like, what about you? Do you also want to become a Nazir? And then she answers yes, then he could be Mefer her chelik, and his is still Kayim. But if he said it as a statement, Hareini Nazir va'at, then he cannot be Mefer it if she agrees. So the Rav explains the reason is because if he says it as a statement and she agrees, so then he's like being Mekayim it. But Riki Vega asked the question that we had in Nedarim, you can't be Mekayim a Neder before it's made. So you can't be Mekayim the Naziris before it's made. And he points out that Taisus on the spot says a different pshat, which we will not go into, but it has to do with the shayla that we said yesterday, whether a Baal is Oiker L'Mafreya or is only Mikan L'Aba. The Mishnah continues, but if the opposite way around, let's say she said, Hareini Nazira va'ata, va'amar amen, and then he agreed, then l'kuli alma, now after she's becoming a Nazir and he's agreeing, va'amar amen, that is a kiyam, ve'ini yachal l'hafer, he can't be Mefer anymore. Mishnah Gimel, ha'isha shenadra menazir, if Isha becomes a Nazir, v'ha'itza shoyse b'yayin u'metam l'meisen, she's being over her Naziris, she's drinking wine, which she's not allowed to do, and she's being metam l'meisen, which she's not allowed to do. Harezu, so Fegetz as harbam. Why are we saying this by an Isha as opposed to a man? Because in the next part of the Mishnah. Hafer la baila, let's say the Baal was Mefer it. So now she's no longer a Nazir. Vihilo yada, but she didn't realize. She thinks that she's a Nazir. V'lo yada shafer la baila. She didn't know that she's no longer a Nazir. So she thinks she's doing an Aveira, when in fact she's not doing an Aveira. The halacha is, since at the end of the day she's not doing an Aveira, Tanakama holds, Eina Sefeges Arbam, she doesn't get Malkus for being over the Naziris. However, Rabbi Yehuda says, you're right, she doesn't get Malkus Midaraisa, Eina Sefeges Arbam, Tispeg Makus Mardis, but she does get Makus Mardis, which is, the Rav points out, Kefi Mara Eine Hadayin, Kefi Tzarech Hasha, she's going to get Malkus. The Gemara brings Rabbi Akiva, says that it's learned out from the pasuk of Isha Haferim v'Hashem Yislach La, that even after the Hafara, Hashem Yislach La, she still needs a kapara. Why does she need a kapara if there's no longer a Nazira, so she wasn't over anything? It must be the pasuk's talking about this case, where she thinks she's being over in Aveira, but yet the Baal was made for it, so there was no Aveira, and Afal Pikein, she needs Hashem Yisach La, she needs a kapara and a slicha. So when Rabbi Akiva saw this pasuk, he was crying, and he said, Madach, a person that thinks they're being over Aveira and they're not really being over in Aveira needs kapara v'slicha, kavachomer, someone who knows he's being over and he is in fact being over in Aveira, how much of a kapara and a slicha he needs.